Hello and welcome to Science Communication. My name is Lisa Kramer and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this course and how the course is organized so you have an idea as to what to expect over the term. As you know, this is an online course, and so the way this course has been developed is there's a series of 11 different modules. And those 11 different modules will cover a range of information related to scientific communication or science communication. Towards at the beginning of the course, we will cover topics such as how do you communicate to different types of public? So for example, how would you communicate scientific information to a community versus how would you deliver scientific information to policymakers, to the media. And then finally, towards the second half of this course, you will be focusing on how to communicate scientific information to scientific audiences. And we're going to cover different types of communication. So for example, how would you prepare an effective poster presentation that effectively summarizes scientific concepts? A type of poster that you might prepare for a scientific conference. We're going to talk about oral presentations. So when you're presenting at a scientific conference, what things should you consider when preparing your presentation in order to effectively get across the key points that you want to get across? And then finally, at the very end, one of the last modules is focusing on scientific writing. So what we're going to be doing is preparing a review article. What you will be doing is preparing a review article on a topic that interests you. And so that particular assessment is quite large. That one you have, there's 2 weeks before that assessment is due. So each week, each module, you will have a small mini lecture in which you will see me presenting the information. The intent of those mini lectures is to provide you with information and theory in order to support you and to support you in the assessments that come at the end of the module. So each week we're talking about a mix of lectures. Some cases there's small videos for some modules. In some modules there's a paper that you have to read. And then again, at the end of each module, there is an assessment. So there is an expectation that you participate weekly because at the end of each module, there is an assessment you have to complete for marks. Discussion board questions. So let me just flip to the next screen. This screen here shows a table of all the different modules and the different assessments. And so in the first week, for example, the first module is an introduction to scientific communication. The first assessment you will be doing is a discussion board question. So I want to talk a little bit about what to expect for these discussion board assessments. They are generally worth 2%, so they're not worth a lot of marks, but what they are intended to do, so in this particular case, in this first module, you will read an article and then you will post your comments and your criticisms and your questions on an online discussion board on Blackboard. And the intent there is to get you to communicate and to kind of discuss the key concepts in the paper that you read with others in the class. And so the expectation for discussion board assessments is that you post within a week after the module is completed. And you need to have at least 2 posts per assessment. You'll be marked on your clarity of your comments, how insightful they are, how you respond to other comments within the class, and so forth. So coming back to the table, so we can see the different modules listed here, different types of assessments. So for example, in Module 3, you will be preparing a presentation to an Inuit community. So the intent here is that you have been given scientific information on contaminant levels in country foods. And so your job as a communicator is to take that scientific information and deliver it to a community of Inuit people who rely on a lot of these foods for food. That particular assessment is worth 10%. And that is due, like all of the assessments, they're due 1 week after the module is completed for the most part. So working through the different modules, so communicating to policymakers, communicating to the media, and then finally we get to module 6, and the 6 through 11, this is where we really focus on communicating to scientific audiences. We're going to do poster presentations in module 7, so you're actually going to prepare a poster on a topic that interests you. Module 8 is preparing and actually performing or delivering an oral presentation to one that you'd present to a scientific community at a conference, for example. And then finally, towards the end, we're going to look at writing scientific articles. So the intent here is that you will first prepare an outline for your review article, get feedback on that outline, and then the following week, you will prepare your actual review article, which will be due 2 weeks after that module is delivered. The very, very last module, the art of critique, everybody's least favorite thing to do, I think, is critique and receive criticism, which is, it's not easy to do. So the very end of this course, what you're going to do is you're going to review the articles that are written by your classmates, and then you will receive those reviews and then prepare a response to reviewer document that you would if you were submitting an article for publication. And that basically, that's it in a nutshell. This is what you should expect over the term. You can always refer back to this table to remind yourself of the assessments that are due over the term. And that's it. We'll see you in module 1.